Nintendo stuff.
All right, there, finally. Okay. Technical difficulties for the last hour and a half. But now we're live. Welcome to Nintendo Stuff, episode 84, where tonight we are going to be discussing a certain character coming to Smash. We are going to be discussing a little bit about what's happening with this new Metroid game. And then also, in addition to that, what is happening with this much, much older Animal Crossing title, which has a direct coming up on the 15th. My name is Logan. It's nice to see you here. To my this way on the thing is Brandon. You're not Brandon, you're Paul. I'm killing this thing tonight. On the other side, we got David, aka Comment RDW. Down below me over here, we got Santi, just looking great tonight. Our resident, as I'm concerned, Kingdom Hearts expert. And then over here, Daniel or Night Tide Studios, all that other stuff, all those aliases. It's good to have you all here, as always. This is basically the same lineup we had like 2 weeks ago. I think minus Santi, because we had Brandon on.
Yeah, Santi was
No, wait,
Yeah,
no. Well, that was last week.
Brandon
Week. It was almost the same as well. Of course, this is kind of like a fusion of the last 2 weeks.
There we go. That's cool.
Yeah. But before we get to those few topics, which I have a lot to say about all those things. I want to go around and I want to ask y'all what you've been up to, what you've been doing, what have you been playing specifically this week, because I've had a few things. I'll start, I guess. I've been trying to finish Kingdom Hearts. I finished about half of Kingdom Hearts like months ago.
Good on you.
And then a certain announcement happened, and I was like, all right, time to open the guide, time to get over myself, and just really, really get into this.
Good on you, because that's a hard game.
Well, yeah, so I have been enjoying it, despite its obvious flaws and things here and there. I've been enjoying myself. I'm in grind mode, and I'm in 100% mode, because I want to get some of those endings that I've heard about. So we'll see how that happens. Honestly, that's been my last few days. That's all I can say about that. Paul, what have you been playing? What have you been doing?
So I'm still toiling away at Super Monkey Ball. Like I said before, I don't have the background with it, so I am struggling so
yeah,
hard.
we had this discussion the other day.
But
yeah, just sitting
I
around
think
and you
I finally
struggling.
made it to like World 7 or 8.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, I feel accomplished with what I've managed to do in the little bit of time I've had the game, but like I'm just afraid for those last like 3 worlds.
I actually do have a question, and I bet several of you could answer this. For Super Monkey Ball Mania, how are the levels organized? Are they organized per game? Like when you go into, do you choose which game, like 1, 2, deluxe? Okay. Yeah, and you're still working through the first game.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't, honestly, as much as I talk up Monkey Ball, I don't think I've ever beaten any of those games. I've never finished them. I've seen them be finished.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, because
Monkey balls are hard to finish.
It's so hard. I've played through most of the levels, right? And then countless hours in the multiplayer games, right? The mini games, the party games are fantastic. I'm actually upset we didn't get to play Monkey Billiards. I didn't get to play Monkey Billiards when y'all were here.
We haven't gotten to play it yet.
It's so good. It's like the one we didn't play that I'm like, this is obvious. This is better than Monkey Target. Why do y'all keep playing Monkey Target when we could be playing billiards? Anyway.
In addition to that, I'm also working through Bioshock still.
Right. Okay. That's one I might need to get back to. We'll see.
A lot of people that I've talked to about it say like, yeah, I started it and then I stopped. Because like me and my wife are in the same boat where like right now that I'm getting to like the second half of the game, she's starting to sit down because she doesn't want to finish it. She just wants to watch me do it for her.
They're like, no, I gotta stick with it. Dang.
Hey, that's a legitimate
People
way to
count
play a
out.
game. I actually haven't played all of The Last of Us 2. I've beaten the game, and I've played sections, but me and my roommate, Jake, we traded off for that game. We just kept passing it off, and we played that whole game together. That was a good time.
Oh, that's a really fun way to play, though.
So, yeah, Bioshock, playing it tandem, that's good stuff. Reminds me of what Daniel and Brandon are doing over on GVG. Except those are a little bit more crafted to be that kind of way, especially with this, like, this Mario
I
and
enjoy
Luigi
listening
series.
to them at work. I was like in and out for the Mario and Luigi stream. It's pretty good.
Oh, thanks. That was really fun to do.
Kind of have a bad habit of like leaving the store floor just to go and watch a little bit, but oops. Like I'll go back into the manager's office and like get on the computer and like check my emails and
That's right. That's
how it's
that's
done.
right.
That's what we all do. We all do that a little bit.
Yeah.
You gotta break the rules sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you go nuts.
Yeah.
So,
Seriously.
I mean, Santu, what have you been playing?
Whatever I said I was playing last week. Just a lot of Street Fighter, but honestly, since I've gotten home, I really haven't had the chance to play a whole lot. I've been thinking about picking up Cruise and Blast ever since we played that this weekend because that game is insane.
Yeah.
That one.
That game is actually like stupid insane. Like they just do not care. I love it. But no, I guess the most recent thing I played was Street Fighter 5 with Brandon. We stayed up until like almost 3 a.m. playing it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty good game.
Man.
Pretty good game. That's about it.
Okay.
Daniel, David, do you guys want to take over?
Yeah, Daniel, you
What
can
been
go.
playing?
Yeah, so ever since its release, I've been playing Tales of Arise. I'm a huge like Tales fan. Like I always joke at Brandon like what Monster Hunter is to me, the Tales series is or what Monster Hunter is to him, the Tales series is to me. So
I see.
I've been really just been on that. Long game, man. As usual, I'm like at the like if this was an anime. Like I'm like at the second season because I didn't know the intro like changes. the intro changes halfway through the game, so now when
that's
I
pretty
boot it up,
cool.
it's a different one. So it's like, yeah, I'm like the season 2 arc right now.
So it's a
Oh, I
real
love
anime
that.
game. It's just
Pretty much.
okay. How
It's like
how
if you took
how
the
long
opening
are
of
the
TH2 and made it longer.
how long are the Tales games generally? How many
they're usually
hours?
Your typical
50
like,
plus?
Like they get around 50, 60 hours for
Okay.
a JRPG. Usually that style. Yeah, a little. I'm still like, I guess maybe like 70% or so away if I had to make a guess as far as how deep I am in it. But
Cool.
yeah, that's like a pretty meaty JRPG, but nothing like a Persona or Dragon Quest. It's a
Right.
little more consumable that way.
That's good. Yeah,
But,
Persona 5 Royal doesn't respect your time at all.
Oh, no.
It's
Like in the actual game itself, it doesn't respect your time because you're trying to manage everything in every day and month.
and then
But,
in real life, it's like the game ends where 5 and like 5 vanilla ended, and then it breaks into season 2.
Yeah.
And like almost doubles the length. And I was like, I'm not playing that.
Well, I was
That's
thinking
much.
about playing it at some point, but now I'm definitely not.
Well, yeah, because you get the same original final boss as the vanilla version, and then you get like a new semester of school, and they're like, here's a new villain, go solve that. Also, it's probably a bigger threat than the original villain. Like, it's a little
RPGs
funny.
are such a time sink. Jeez.
Yeah,
That's the thing with Persona 5 Royal is that like they advertise the new character Kasumi so much, and yet you only really have her in that party after you beat the base game. And it's like, well, I wanted to see more of her and have her in the party.
Yeah.
Like you get little snippets here and there, and you can interact with her and everything, but that whole like extra chapter at the end is really the only time you get to actually like experience like the what really makes Royal stand out between everything else. It's like Persona 4 Golden did the exact same thing. So it's like, what was I expecting from this?
right. Yeah.
After Tales of Arise, I'm also just kind of chipping away at Kena Bridge of Spirits. That's actually a
Okay.
that looks
okay.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's
I wish I
Actually,
had a
Our
PS5.
friend Joe, we've been playing that.
That's the radio silence before that game was so like worrisome because like no one was talking about it. We were like, is this game done? Is this game are they proud to have this game out in the open? And I was really glad that it got very good reviews, and it's fantastic. The
Nice.
visuals are great. It feels like kind of like a PS2 era game in like the best way. Like combat kind of reminds me of Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh,
Like
that's pretty cool.
sort of like
Okay.
bow staff usage, and you and the little black little bean characters, they call the rot. Um, you like kind of collect them like they're your Pikmin
Oh,
in a
nice.
sort of way. And I just love how they integrate the fact that you need them to proceed in the story as much as they need you. And I just love the integration of how they like you need that kind of teamwork as you progress through fighting, through puzzle solving, and all that.
That's
And
pretty cool.
yeah, it'd be
Sounds
great.
like sounds like Pikmin.
Yeah, there's literally parts where you ask them to pick something up, and then they just carry it to places so you can proceed. It's
Oh,
really
that's really
funny.
Yeah,
cool.
that's
It's
great.
just they're so adorable and charming. I can't wait to keep playing on that one.
That's awesome.
And I guess the only other thing is like I pretty much just finished Deltarune chapter 2 as well.
Nice, nice.
So man, Toby Fox, we're I don't know when chapter 3, 4, and 5 are happening, but like oh man, take your time because I got a lot of stuff to play anyways, which I think is all of our problems right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
One
can
thing
slow
that's
down.
crazy about. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
go ahead, David.
I was gonna say one thing crazy about the Toby Fox games is I always play them through the passive way, which is pretty much like the funnier way to play through them because of all the
Same.
interactions. But then like the real hardened fans go through and do like the RPG run where you like basically just kill everything.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was never really good at doing the bad versions of playthroughs, so I'm just like I'll just watch someone do it.
Oh wait, so okay, question, because I haven't played those. Since the game is in multiple parts, can you like transfer your save data
Yeah.
over so that like you
Mhm.
okay,
hmm
that's pretty cool.
So I had the Switch version of Deltarune Chapter 1, and then basically when it updated to Chapter 2, it just asked me if I wanted to continue on to Chapter 2, and I had like the
Nice.
same stuff I had from the first one, which I assume they'll do the same for the next chapters as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So then I wonder what happens if you boot up a new game without your previous save on there. Does it like
They say it
just
just
take a root for you automatically, or do you go into
I
like a
think they
default?
said it starts off with like a pre-made save data, I think. I can't recall.
That's interesting.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's like so much like there's like so many interacting systems in Toby's games. Like the stuff in Undertale goes deep.
Yeah,
with-
they're basically
with, like,
Telltale
messing with
games
your
in
save.
their
Yeah,
own way.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I can appreciate that.
But let's see. In terms of what I've been playing, I've been putting myself through hell playing through the Ollie Ollie games, Switch Dance, and I'm trying to 5-star all the levels in Ollie Ollie 1, and I think
Mhm.
that's like 50 stages, and I think I have like 8 more to go to 5-star. And I'm just like every time I'm going through, I'm just like on one level for maybe like 15 minutes or so, just restarting, 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 restarting. And yeah, that's been a fun one. If you haven't played Ollie Ollie Switch Dance, it's like a side-scrolling Tony Hawk like skateboarding game where you're just flicking the stick to do all the different moves and stuff. It's very satisfying to
Oh,
play.
that's actually kind of cool.
But like it's actually hell when you're trying to perfect the game. It's disgusting. I
Oh
hate
my
it.
god! So
Um,
I've played a little bit of Ollie Ollie. I got Switch
mhm.
Dance on the Switch. I just haven't. I could not get the timing down. I'd have to play it a lot more. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, some of those like inputs are like pretty precise, and it's like, oh, I actually have to try at this game. So we'll see. I'll get back to it eventually.
And like the devs are like self-aware with how crazy some of their objectives are because they'll be like there was this one level where it was like primarily grind rails, but it's like it's also designed where you can beat the level without grinding. So one of the objectives is don't grind at all. And then like in parentheses in the objective heading it's like sorry and I'm like, "Oh no." It's just like they knew and it actually did suck. It took maybe like 25 minutes to get through that one objective alone. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to Ollie Ollie 2 because then they add like a lot more mechanics. Because in this one, it's literally just grinding and tricks. But then in 2, they add manuals. They add it where you can chain grinds together and like switch them. Um, they add a lot more varied levels where there's like a lot more objectives based on that. But then Ollie Ollie World, which I'm looking forward to, is going to have like wall riding and it's going to have like a plot and like a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, for sure, if you haven't played Ollie Ollie, check that out. And then I've been playing a good amount of Nickelodeon All Star Brawl on my Switch, and that game is a game. Oh God. So like the way they were promoting it, right? That's basically Nickelodeon Smash Brothers. If you guys haven't heard about it, and it's made by people who have made like other fan like platform fighters. And clearly that dev team really likes Smash Brothers and like Melee and stuff because this game has like wave dashing and text and like all that other deep stuff I don't care about. But this game seems like it could have needed more time in the oven, to be honest.
Mm.
Because it just like when you're playing this versus actual Smash Brothers, and it also launched the same day that Sora came out, so it like got super overshadowed, unfortunately. But like they have a whole bunch of like big Smash players like Hungry Box and like some other people playing through it and advocating for it super heavy. So I think that's what's getting a lot of people's eyes on it. But the game itself is very mid. Like I'm happy I didn't buy it with my own money. I could wait. I would say wait on getting this for like no more than $25-$30. No more than
Yeah,
25.
I mean, I think a
Yeah.
lot of the design decisions in that game are kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, do we talk about this now or do we want to wait? Because that's one of our actual topics.
About what?
Nickelodeon
Uh,
Art Star.
Nickelodeon, because that's
I
unrelated,
mean, if
so.
y'all have opinions, go off. Yeah. I haven't played
Well.
it, and I've heard a lot of things about it, like back and forth. But it's like, okay, well, we'll see. And yeah, it wasn't something that I was like, I'm gonna buy this on launch, because I kind of knew what it was. It wasn't something that I was expecting to be like an incredible game. It's there
Right.
for like the meme values. I am interested. One of the things I thought that was weird about the game, I think a lot of people thought it was weird, that there was no like voice cues for like any of the
It's like
attacks and whatnot.
Yeah,
they got
so-
just enough licensing to do
Oh.
what they needed.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I think when the developer said that it would have like cost them about the same amount of their gameplay cost
To
just
get all
get
the
the other
voices,
stuff.
the voice
Yeah.
actors and
Mhm.
whatnot.
So that's why they skipped it. I don't know. Maybe if this game gets enough like support and stuff, like they'll be able to patch it.
Right, and I think
like,
what's really interesting is I think it'll be interesting to see how modded this game gets, because there's already somebody who's implemented a voice mod into like the PC version or
That
whatever.
exists.
Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time till like people are like, oh, here's a gameplay balance, or here's
Here's a
some
Project
hitbox
M, like-
adjustments or
Yeah,
whatever.
Project
Real heroes
Nick,
out
yeah.
there doing the work.
Yeah. Where's
just-
Project M? The Project
Just
M
as a
equivalent.
game, I don't know. I've not played it yet, but in terms of like design as a platform fighter, I find it really weird that they decided to like do away with certain directional attacks. Like there's no like forward tilt, no forward air, back air. If you want to
Yeah.
remove back air for the sake of like air simplicity, like that kind of combat style, that's totally cool. Why did you remove tilts? Like you have
Yeah,
you have light attacks and what are essentially just smash attacks. Like
So it's
Yeah.
it's
Those
literally
middle-
only
It's a
four
three- it's a three-
directions.
it's a
Those medium
3-button
hits.
game and with neutral top and bottom inputs. So left and right is the same as not pressing anything at all when you press a button.
right.
Um,
and that's
Oh,
And it's a
that's
little
weird.
bit of a curve to figure out. And also like there's no characters with like how like with Mario he has like a 3-hit combo that you tap the button, you do 3 hits.
yeah.
No characters have that. It's like the one button of the light attack is just the one button for the light attack.
yeah.
And then there's like the top and bottom attack. So it's like you have to make your own little combos and stuff, but it still feels a little like it's like you're just like something's missing here, right?
Definitely.
And then also
even
like
just
there's
the
no
removal- like even just the removal of tilts. It's like you look at Mario and Smash, just for example, because he's like the most like vanilla character that you can get. So your jabs in Smash are made to be like your fastest like close range option, right? It's like a quick get off me.
Mhm.
And then your tilts are usually like it's a slower but more powerful thing, not as slow, and definitely not as powerful as a smash attack, but it's there like as that middle option. Like, okay, well, I have a decent amount of space between me and my opponent. We're not super close range, but if they run into this, like I've got space, you know. You remove that from this game, it's like it's just awkward, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know. This is coming from somebody who hasn't played it yet. I'm gonna play it. But just going in, like, these have been my thoughts for a while now, you know?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like I also need to play
Yeah.
like some other platform fighters to do a little comparison because I haven't played like
Mhm.
like Brawl Out is one I think that's the most comparable to this that I probably want to try to remember how that played.
Yeah.
Because I remember even that one wasn't that good compared to like Smash, obviously, but I feel like it might be a little more put together than Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. So I need
Well,
to
I
re-download
mean,
that and
have
check.
any of you played Slap City? That was Ludosity's
No,
like last game. That was their platform fighter before
mhm.
they developed this.
I haven't even played like
Um,
Rivals of Aether, and I heard
s
that one's really good.
Well,
yeah.
Rivals of Ether also has a 3-button system. You've got your
Okay.
normal attacks, you've got your specials, and then you've got smash attacks, which are like heavies and Nick. You've got that map to one button. You could also set it to the right stick if you want. Um, and it doesn't feel that jarring, honestly. Like it feels pretty much in line with Smash. So like the decision to remove certain attacks in Nick is kind of weird to me still.
Yeah. There's also like not color variants for characters. There's also like no way to
Oh,
save
seriously?
button inputs to certain like people's names or something.
Oh,
Or
that's
even
kind of
like
weird.
one thing that was really annoying, I had friends over and we were trying it out. And it was like every time we ended a match, we had to almost reset our controls because it was imagine with Smash, right? You know how like when you start up and it's like if you're player one until the controller gets disconnected. In this, it's like at the end of a match, it just goes back to the hard reset of no one being assigned to a space. And then it's like whoever moves their controller is on that space. Then it's almost like your controls got remapped. So you have to go back and reset your controls damn near every time.
Oh
And
man.
it's
That's so
super
weird.
annoying. So it's like we just found ourselves having to like remap our controls, and that was taking out a lot out of the experience. We're like, why is there no like name default here, or at least like keeping our things set to slots? So that was weird. Also, the arcade mode is super like Smash One type of stuff, where it's literally just random characters tossed into a line, and then you just go through it, and there's nothing really to get out of that except like some lame like gallery stuff. The music's not that good. Um, no, they couldn't even get like licensed music or anything. It's a super like it feels like those games you would play like on the GameCube or PS2 era, where
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, this is a game they made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this is licensed. This is
Yeah,
So I mean that sounds like the real limiting factor is that like if they had like all these access to these things, and they probably could have done it. Also maybe I don't know more time and then more people, but I don't know. Maybe this is it. I think that's fine.
yeah, that's one of the things where I'm like surprised like THQ or something wasn't even also helping them with it, since they're like tight knit with Nick like that, since of like rehydrated and things like that. So
Right.
I mean, no hate on Ludosity, but like I feel like this game definitely could have used a bit more time, you know?
yeah, for
Um
sure.
That's fair.
even just from a
Yeah.
visual standpoint, like the animations like are looking kind of rough. And in terms of like their functionality,
The characters don't
although-
even have like run animations, and no
no.
none of the characters have like special grab animations. Like
Mm-mm.
there's little things, right, that you don't pay attention that you take for granted in Smash Brothers. Then you see it in another game, and you're like, oh,
I
yeah.
mean, one of the biggest
Uh,
changes in Ultimate was that like anytime a character gets grabbed, there's like a little orange circle that signifies like, oh, you're like you were just grabbed. You don't see that in this game, so like there's like a Patrick, I think Patrick side B or whatever is that he like dives at you and like grabs you. You'll kind of just like magnetize up to him, and like there's
mhm.
almost no visual like indicator. It's a little weird. And then like like e- every
Every
attack
grab
almost
is
feels
like,
like
yeah.
functionally the same. Like every up
Mhm.
tilt is like a quick sweep like this, you know. There's no like multi hits. There's no um like variations on like where certain things hit. It's like okay, every character has a down tilt, jab, up tilt, up air, up air, up air, like forward strong, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like they
but I
tried
don't
to
know.
put like some love into like everyone's animations, but everything's so fast you can hardly even see the animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, so I don't know. The game
Was
seems
there anything
fine.
good about it?
It has characters
It's
in it.
it makes you laugh.
I mean, you can definitely tell that they put love into it. It's
It's
just
like
I
Cruise and
think they need a
Blast.
lot
Like
more
Cruise and
funding and a lot
Blast
more
is
time.
yeah.
There's
Um,
there's a lot of passion like the
Yeah.
in places
Oh,
that you
yeah,
see
yeah.
in that work for sure.
Mhm.
But like when you look at it mechanically, you really do, yeah, as you mentioned, you really do see all the little like cracks in the
Yep.
system, especially when you compare it to all the things in Smash Brothers that we take for granted.
Mhm.
And there's just it's just a weird like mix of quality and like things that they offer the player. Like they're in training mode, you can set it so that you see like the hitboxes. And there's nothing like that like in Smash Brothers, you know, like
Oh, that's
like
pretty cool.
Project M had that. Like I think Games are starting to take like that kind of system more to heart, and to see it in a game like this is just kind of funny when it's like mechanically still kind of like broken, and definitely needed more time. And if they took like even some more months on it, kind of let the Smash hype die down a little bit after, since Sora was just released or announced rather, then it could have benefited that game a lot more in multiple ways.
For sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
like,
all I
it
gotta-
does
that's
definitely
all I gotta
seem
say
like
on that.
passionate about it. If you've ever listened to those character breakdowns with what's his name, Thaddeus.
Oh
He
yeah,
seemed
they're
like
having a great time.
yeah, he seems like thrilled to be talking about the game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like super like interactive with the community and all that. Um, I just hope the game does well enough that they can, you know, continue to patch it and make it something special. Like that's what happened with Power Rangers.
Oh
the
yeah,
Battle for the
that game,
Grid.
yeah.
Battle for the Grid.
That game came out super mid, but then after a few like patches and stuff, it's honestly really solid. Like
It's
they
like
got a Street
NBC
Fighter
fan.
crossover. Yep.
Mhm.
They got they're getting like a season 3 of DLC right now. Like it's going pretty strong still. So I mean, I'd like to see like that kind of resurgence happen with this game. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more characters down the line, so I would recommend some people just like wait to see how future patches will flesh the game out by then, hopefully.
I think that's the takeaway is wait. Get it on sale. There's going to be more content for it. And as much as I love SpongeBob, there are some other characters I would like to talk about. In particular, characters that are not in that game. Characters that are actually coming to a much better platform fighter called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
We're
We're
talking
talking about
Disney
Sora's.
Channel around here.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
we're
the,
talking Disney Channel. We're not talking.
Protag.
Oh, nice.
We're already over here.
Yeah, we all
I've
got a prop.
cloud in that style too.
Yeah, that's gonna be my skin right there.
Nice.
Yeah,
God.
I mentioned this
I'm
earlier.
sorry.
Like, yeah, this character got announced, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I gotta play more Kingdom Hearts. And so I've been hyping myself up. What a reveal trailer! What a reveal trailer!
It was so good.
Wow.
Like it was such a fake out too, because like you see the fire and it's like nobody thinks, like you see fire, you don't think of Sora.
I
But, like, they
didn't go.
went
I
there
didn't go
anyway.
Dark Souls.
Honestly,
though. I
for
didn't go
that,
Dark
it
Souls.
was
Everybody
like it
went
felt
Dark
really.
Souls. It was really
It felt
funny.
really symbolic, right? Because they were like playing on the we're going back to the reveal trailer with the fire and all this other shit.
It all started.
Is this the
Bring it
Splatoon
back.
game? You know, no, it's Smash Bros. And then it peters out, and there's that one last fire. Like, this is the last character, the last
The single
flame
light
of
in the
content.
darkness, because light never goes out, and Kingdom Hearts is light, and then he springs out of the door and is like,
Yeah,
"Yo!"
Santi, yeah. So like I was
Okay.
talking to my other friend Javi, who's like a super hard like Kingdom Hearts hype, and
Yeah,
he
he
had like
is.
a whole fan analysis of the Sora trailer.
Yeah.
You guys can keep talking. I'm gonna see if I can find it because I had my own thoughts on it as a non Kingdom Hearts fan, but then he had his analysis, and it was like they both went hand in hand together.
Well, I mean, if you
Yeah.
want to talk about the symbolism in the trailer, there's the fact that like the Smash characters more or less died, and it kind of plays into like the whole World of Light plot. Like if you see, I don't know if you've seen the bad ending to World of Light, where who is it? What was the villain's name? Darkon.
Darkon?
It's one of the two.
Oh yeah.
He kills Galeem, and then the last shot you see is Mario like looking up at the sky, and he flops over because like the light's gone.
Oh,
so, like,
yeah.
everyone died. Yeah,
That was super
So-
depressing.
it was super dark. So I mean, basically the same thing happened in this trailer. And Sora, being the light, was the one to save them all from.
Yeah,
wherever
like he was
they
just
were.
like Sora was literally the lifelight of
Mhm.
Super Smash Brothers. Okay, I found it. So he was like, so in Kingdom Hearts, when a light in a world expires and darkness consumes it, the world doesn't vanish, but instead falls into sleep. When we
Yep.
saw the light wither, everyone stood still where the light vanished, and they were all basically asleep in darkness until Mario, being the one person with a connection to the light, being Nintendo's main mascot. As we noticed when he like dispersed off of his platform, there was like still some light in there. He wielded the weapon that transformed into the Keyblade, and then that summoned Sora back into the world, bringing light back into it again. Basically,
I love that
Mhm.
Mario was able to handle that Keyblade too.
Yeah.
Mario
There
has a
now. It's
Keyblade.
canon.
He
You
can
got
wield
you know
Keyblade.
that
He's the Mickey Mouse of this universe.
There's gonna be, this somehow, some way, Nomura's gonna find a way to make this canon in the Kingdom Hearts timeline.
even if they can't like mention Mario in the next Hearts game, I feel like there's gonna be a moment where Sora's gonna be like, somebody's gonna ask him where he was. He's gonna turn to the camera, like wink, and be like, "I was up to some stuff," like, and we're all gonna know what it is.
We all know.
to see
We
some
all know at
friends.
this
Mhm.
point because
Yeah.
we've all played up to it this point. I don't actually know that. I know that I've played up to a point where I was like, I added Santi in the Discord server, and I said, "Did Sora come from Neverland?" Like they're not allowed. That's like,
Yes, he did.
like he totally did. He
over
had
there.
the fairy dust. He was flying. All
Yeah.
this other shit.
You're really
I was-
playing up his Peter Pan connection in
Mhm.
the entirety of Smash, because that's how he's flying in the
In
intro,
the trailer, yeah.
but also his intro in like actual matches, like he flies in like with the pixie dust, and
Mhm.
on the banner art, like he's also flying. You see
Oh,
like
floating.
little specks of pixie dust around him. So
yeah, he
I just
doesn't.
see
He
like
doesn't. Oh, he doesn't jump out of like a gummy ship. He flies
No,
in on
yeah.
pixie dust. It's
it's
like
really
wow.
funny.
I think
I'm like,
Sakurai was leaning really into that, like Sora means air,
The Disney
right?
magic, yeah.
I guess
yeah, the
so,
Sora
yeah.
means air, yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
maybe like
drawing on those elements more than like normal makes sense
Mhm.
here.
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yeah, we couldn't get actual Disney characters, so we brought in the magic some other way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I
the
got Mickey
most
Mouse's
Disney. Yeah, that was the most
icon.
we got
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how much they had to license that shit for. You know?
Honestly, in a way, I'm kind of glad that like we don't have the other characters. And I'm good. Like I'm good with just the original Kingdom Hearts stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Yeah, you know that shot of that one moment where the Mickey Mouse emblem like takes up the full screen probably cost Nintendo more money than all the other
$1
DLC
million.
characters.
Cost
up to this
Sakurai
point.
his firstborn
Mhm.
child.
Mm-hmm.
So, funny story about this. I woke up at 2:00 the day of the presentation, and by the time I had like gotten around to watching it, Nintendo already replaced the thumbnail with Sora's here,
Ah,
and so it was already
Man.
spoiled for
Rip.
me inherently.
no.
But that still didn't stop me from crying when like Sora comes
Here's
out
the
through
key
the keyhole,
art.
like the
Dude,
music.
that-
song.
The music honestly did it for me.
Uh,
That's what had me tearing up. Like,
Yeah.
just
We were-
that song, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's gotta be.
We
one
were
of
just
the-
about to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Daniel.
Oh, I was just gonna say that's gotta be one of the things that that came to me first. Like the people that leaked it, it was a legit leak from back in July. That
Yeah.
they guessed it was gonna be on October
Yeah.
5th, and some people were saying that it wasn't true because why would they license music that close? But the difference of that for people who aren't aware, getting permission to use music for a presentation is a totally different like talk than to get music for the game itself. If
Right.
you remember, Hero had the Dragon Quest main theme playing when he was shown off, but that wasn't a
Mhm.
song that was available in Smash. So I'm sure it was like certain
Yeah.
like, processes here too. But
Right.
but yeah, they had the orchestral version of Simple and Clean that you hear like at pretty much every ending of Kingdom Hearts now.
Mhm.
For that, and that's a totally legitimate reason why they had like asked for that copyright music so late or so close to the actual reveal.
Yeah.
Going back to like the analysis of the trailer, at least like from so this was like the fan perspective that I had, right? So I was saying that Smash symbol being ignited when Ultimate was first announced was basically them. Yeah, so that was like them signifying Smash was beginning, right? So then the flame going out was signifying Smash ending since we got our last character. But then this final spark was Sora coming into the game, and then the flame reigniting, showing that even though the Smash's like content additions are over, the game is far from over because the game will still live on through like all of its players and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So that was just like a whole other way I
That's
looked
really
at it too.
Very meta.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Daddy
very,
Sakurai loves us.
dude, like the big brain
Sakurai.
plays that they do on this damn dev team, because like
It's
it
crazy.
had to make Sora for that trailer to work. Sora had to be last. He had to be last for that to make actual canonical sense. And then, like, he was revealed 13 days before he comes out, and this is version 13, which in
Yep.
Kingdom Hearts, the organization 13, big number in that game.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, big brain ass plays happening
He's
with
the
this dev team.
He's the 13th DLC character.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just like, bro, they've been playing 4D chess this whole time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Galaxy
almost like
brain
they
over here.
planned on like, okay, here's all the characters that we know for sure that we're gonna get, and they were still like in the process as they were putting together the second pack, and they're like, wait, no, okay, we're gonna do these
Let's
5 characters
reorganize
that we
this.
already started on, but we actually we got everything finished for Sora, so we can do Sora. So go for it, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
13th character, 13 days, and it also comes out on patch 13
Mhm.
.0.0. Kind of crazy.
Is that saying he has
Yeah.
like 13 spirits coming with him or something? Or there's something else in there that's like all
Yeah,
these
there's
like
a few.
coincidences.
It's so good.
When Sakurai was
Um,
saying that when he showed the Smash ballot, he's done that like 2 or 3 times already, where he refers to that ballot that was what back in 2013, 14, something
Yep.
like that. And I'm like, bro, he never forgot. We were all like,
That-
all this time, everyone's
Dad
just
never
like,
forgets
there's
about
no
us.
way.
Carried us
Exactly.
all the way to the end.
Like one damn survey from 10 years ago has been fueling this game for this franchise for the last decade. And I'm like, bruh, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Insane.
I know
I'm
a lot of
hyped.
people are like really salty about the ballot right now because they said like they're claiming that Nintendo said that Bayonetta was the most popular character, but they're missing so many things. They're like, oh well, they lied about Bayonetta.
No,
They
there
said
was-
that
she was, like, top
the
3, I
most
think,
popular.
yeah.
Yeah, she was in the top
In
3
America.
of the Europe. No, I think it was Europe.
Yeah,
Um,
Europe.
Of the European vote and among realizable characters because at the
Oh,
time
yeah.
Shrek and Goku were popular memes. So like,
Yeah.
um,
Characters that actually made sense.
right.
Mhm.
So and like licensing and stuff, I'm sure
Mhm.
like, there were other characters, but Bayonetta won because of all of those factors combined. So to anyone that wants to talk crap, like I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, when
The
does
world
Nintendo, like,
actually
ever
decided.
like forthcoming with any information?
Right.
hmm Like, it would be awesome since the game's done if they just gave us the numbers now. They're just like, by the way, since you guys want to just act like we weren't being
Well-
serious, here are the numbers. But then they
Yeah,
could
but
use it in like
Sakurai
another
was like,
10
we
years. Who
can't do
knows?
that because that's going to cause issues with the other companies because people are going to start demanding.
Oh,
from
like
them.
popularity contest or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
I don't need all
So
the
they still
numbers.
can't do that.
Just tell me how many Gokus. How many
Yeah.
Gokus?
How many Shreks? Because
I'll
I
interpret.
really want to know.
Because
there were people that-
the rest.
There are
I
people
just
that
need to know
wasted their
Goku.
IP vote
hmm
on Shrek.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what do you
I
guys
mean,
think of his
it's-
moveset?
I think it's fine. I
Looks
don't.
so fun.
It makes sense for the character, especially playing the game the last few days. I think it makes a lot of sense. And it looks like a fun character. It just looks like a fun move set. It doesn't look like it's too over the
Mhm.
top. Looks very true to the character.
Yeah, Sakurai even said he was
Yeah.
like, even if you don't know Sora, he's a very like easy to learn, fun to play character, and I'm like, I appreciate that because like I've only played, I didn't finish 1. I played a good amount of 2, and I've never played another Kingdom Hearts game. But Sora as a character, aesthetically, I love him so much. So I'm like, I'm gonna be playing Sora. He might end up in one of my top 5, or like he might be in my what's the word? What's that mode? Anyway, he's gonna probably be my top 5, but I'm gonna have to fight for supremacy because I have a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans. They're gonna be like, "Did you play the games?" I'm like, "No." So-
Yeah. I'm really happy with what we have so far. With what we have. The 3-hit combo thing, I called that. I was like, if he gets in, they're
That's
gonna
his bread and
give him-
butter.
He has to.
Yeah, they're gonna give him a Bayonetta style forward air where it's 3 hits. They might even do it for neutral air, and they did it, and I was so vindicated.
Yep, they ended the pass with Bayonetta again.
They really did. Do you see that side B? What is that?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I'm gonna hit a down tilt into up air into like 3-hit combo into like side B into up B, and then be like, haha, got him, GG's. Fair and balanced.
Oh my
Sora versus
gosh.
Minecraft Steve.
Yeah. Oh my
Fun
god, that's
time.
so
It happens. It's
this
so weird.
game is like not even real. It's like Sora versus Solid Snake. Like what?
Sora versus Banjo and Kazooie. It's
Right.
like, how
This
does-
is
what
this is
world we
somebody's
live in?
fan fiction from DeviantArt.
This
Like,
is literally all of the fan-made like Smash art
Mhm.
from 2010.
those
Like-
rosters with like the
Super
random
Smash
different
Flash.
like art from every single like
yeah,
different
Super Smash
game.
Flash. Yeah.
It's like here's
Just
my
weird.
roster for Smash 2021. It's like and everyone's like, oh no, that would never happen.
So
Wait.
it's the only thing we didn't get like a Sony rep, right? We got a Microsoft rep. So
Basically.
like if we
I mean,
got a
you could
Sony
say some
rep,
of the Square Enix counts.
I was gonna say
And also Joker.
we got Cloud, Sephiroth, Joker, Sora.
Yeah,
They're
Joker was
PlayStation enough.
Yeah,
If you mean like
yeah.
owned by
PlayStation
Sony,
Studio
but,
characters, then I don't think so. Yeah,
like purely like we didn't get like a Ratchet and Clank or someone that's like
Right.
I would have still wanted.
I would have,
Crash,
I would have accepted something like Crash as like a Sony
Yeah.
character, right? Like classically, even though it's technically Activision now.
at least give us like the Mii costume where it looks like the fursuit from the commercial where he's waiting outside the Nintendo office and just the head coming out of his mouth or something like that as a
when they dropped all of the Mii fighters first, and it was like 2 of them were Splatoon related, I was like, what the heck's going on? I was like, huh?
It felt like another
And then-
Splatoon reveal or something.
Yeah, and then we got Doomslayer, so I know a lot of people were sad, but I was like, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
I still enjoy
I'd rather
addition.
have a
I
Mii
like having
costume than
Doom
nothing.
reps, right? A Doom rep is good. I'll take Doom. I mean, even outside of just like the characters, right? We have all of those costumes, right? Which is expands the representation, the amount of spirits in the game as well. I can't remember how many like franchises they said the game has represented in it, but it's
I remember
an
seeing there was
absurd
like
amount.
1,100 tracks of music in the game, which is
Yeah,
obscene.
like the
Really
game
good.
just feels like a celebration of all gaming at this point, right? Not even just like here's Nintendo stuff, because like there's so much non-Nintendo stuff in this game as well, which is nutty to think about. It's not even a game that I play that often. Outside of like I get together with friends and I'll play it, right? But outside of that, I don't play that much Smash. But when I come back to it, it's always a blast. And again,
It's like
it's
riding
also
bike, don't
like
forget.
some of these matchups are weird. It's like, whoa, why? How does this exist? I mean, in a world that is free of copyright and monetary restrictions, like we could probably see something nutty. I mean, we see it in in mods, right? People mod the crap out of these games, and you can have any crossover you want. But in the official stuff, man, like there's so much red tape you have to go through. I mean, even talking about Nickelodeon All Stars, right? It's like it was a matter of money getting these characters in here, and it would be a matter of money to get more assets to make them more true to themselves. And
They could even get voice lines, but Sakurai got Sora and the Nintendo fighters.
yeah,
The amount of money needed to make magic happen. It's crazy.
I really love how Smash Brothers Ultimate has a roster better than PlayStation All Stars than PlayStation has for.
We don't talk about it. We don't talk about it.
Oh.
That game is so interesting.
So okay,
Also-
moving a little. I mean, unless you have something to say.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just the ending of that trailer with Sora and Mario just shaking hands. I was just like,
It's like
That's my desktop background.
I just sing on the
think
damn cake,
everybody's
bro.
desktop
literally,
background
I
right
saw so many reactions where everyone on that shot it was like wallpaper.
now. Wallpaper.
Yeah,
hmm
only in the game like this, man. I never
Yeah.
get.
So,
Incredible.
before we move on from Sora and Kingdom Hearts, they also, in that same presentation, announced that Kingdom Hearts is coming to the Switch. But there's a caveat. It's only the cloud versions. Now, I've seen some takes, and I think this would be my take. There's no way they couldn't at least port like 1.5,
everything but
2.5, all this stuff. Yeah, except 3 maybe because it's
Right.
more intensive. So why didn't they just do that? And then they could still offer the collection as a cloud collection, right? For those who just want even better visuals or whatever for the first 2 games.
I have no idea why they did this.
Yeah.
PS2 games.
They threw money away. That's crazy.
How many people have access to or can afford the type of internet that would make cloud gaming like a pleasurable experience, right? How many people? Like I could do it because I have good internet, right? But at the same time, like I don't want to play these things clouds, especially if like I can play them locally fine without having to have internet connection, right? Because that stuff
Right.
goes out
I mean,
sometimes.
Considering that those games are action RPGs and some of the fastest action RPGs
Yeah,
to play,
like-
like with reaction times, I'm sorry, but you need like any extra frames that you're dropping like on the cloud version.
Get that Switch OLED, have that Ethernet port plugged in that
Right.
dock.
Like, I'm sorry, but if you're playing KH3 Critical and you're doing the DLC bosses, you're not gonna beat them on cloud version on Wi-Fi. I promise you.
What about on my hotspot at an airport?
Oh,
Because of
good
the
luck
appeal of
loading
the-
anything, I guess.
Yeah,
part of the appeal
so
of the Switch.
I mean, unless
Yeah.
anybody has any different opinions, like it's just
Yeah, no, they
Why?
could have literally made everything but 3 physical on a cartridge. Like like I've been saying this for years, bro. Kingdom like some of the most important games for Kingdom Hearts, like at least like 2 or 3 of them, right? Were on Nintendo consoles. Not consoles, but handheld, right?
How
Or at least some of
ironic.
the like the thing that was between 1 and 2 that's important to the story was on the Game Boy or the DS, right?
With
Game Boy
hands,
and
yeah.
DS, and then we had 3DS. And it's like we couldn't even get 1, 2, and like whatever the heck on and that collector's edition would have been so
And
nice.
literally
Like,
on the system where that's the main gimmick. And I think that's what Daniel was just about to say. Like that's the whole like appeal of the Switch in the first place.
yeah.
Like, you can take it and go and play it on handheld,
Right.
but if you're just doing it as a cloud service, you pretty much
Gotta stay home anyway.
That rudimentary, man.
At that
Mhm.
point, you might as well go to Walmart, get Story So Far for $20, and just play it on your PlayStation. Like,
it's also
You might as
frustrating.
well just grab your own Keyblade from GameStop and just go and start whacking people at
Yeah.
that point because there's no reason.
It's
Just make
also
your own Kingdom Hearts.
it's
I
also
agree.
really frustrating because there are ports of much higher fidelity games that they have down ported, right? I think that would be an okay way to phrase it. Like,
Eternal.
yeah, do whatever 720, make it look a little bit muddy, make it. But if it does it play smooth? Is it the same kind of gameplay? Like, who cares if it looks like mud at that point, right? As long as it
I mean,
plays
save
well.
for a
you
few
know?
worlds. I don't even think that KH3 is like that hardware intensive. You know.
Right. Yeah, just lower it, or do what? Now, this is a big ask, but do what? Crash Bandicoot 4 did, and just give it a new coat of paint, right? Like they didn't make it; they made it look different, right? A little more cell shaded, simpler for sure, but like good in its own right. Which is like a really interesting thing. Now, not everybody has the resources to do that, but this is Square Enix we're talking about. You
Right.
want to tell me they don't have the resources to put into like a real like port of Kingdom Hearts 3 for the Switch? I don't buy it. I just
we
don't.
are talking about Square Enix here, so like for all we know, they're gonna like they put Final Fantasy whatever on every little thing possible multiple times over because they're like Nintendo fans. They'll buy it every way possible. So I'm pretty sure like they're gonna do cloud version now, get all the money they can, make people angry, and then in the next year or something, maybe 2 years, who knows, they're gonna like probably do like, okay, here's that physical version you wanted, or we're just gonna make it digital where you can download it on your Switch this way, and then something
Seriously
like
hate
that.
you could be right.
Yeah, like I already, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait because they're gonna do it. They've done it before. Like, and also like memory, was it Melody Memory? That's
Mhm.
basically the Kingdom Hearts 1 engine, Kingdom Hearts 2 engine, basically, right? And it's running like it's the best running version of that game,
Something like
apparently.
it.
So, it's whatever. I'll wait, but also I just have it on PlayStation, so I'll just
Is that game
it that way.
canon?
yes.
Oh yeah, there's
Wait,
plot.
Every
in it.
Kingdom Hearts game is
plot.
canon,
Oh my
you
God.
fool.
And it's got big plot in the end. Like it's setting up some like major. There's another like
Yo, what if Sora?
universe type of crap.
What if Sora's arcade mode in Smash had some canonical essence to it for some reason?
No,
That'd be
I'd
funny.
actually love that. No, because I
will.
would actually really love
You gotta
that.
do all his
I know.
spirit boards. You gotta do the hardest difficulty on his
I-
adventure mode.
I would really like
the way that Square has just and the people who make Kingdom Hearts have just kind of embraced this chaos, this like incomprehensible connectivity, just to say that like no, we're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way that this technically
That's why
all
Kingdom
makes
Hearts
sense.
is so fun. Like, yeah, maybe Nomura's like style of writing, like planting the seeds and then like picking it up later, if it makes sort of sense, isn't the most efficient style of writing. But it's fun, you know what I mean? Like, not all art has to be like The Sopranos.
like
where
the
it's, like,
goal.
the
The goal
pinnacle
is
of
to
art
the
or
goal is
whatever.
to fit the things they want to fit in.
Right.
Not so much that it all makes sense or it's that it's necessarily
Right.
coherent.
It's got the JoJo appeal, where it's like, okay, this is BS, but it's so fun.
I mean, and then like think of it. It's just all the things. It's like playing action figures at this point.
Right,
Like,
that's
you
what
know,
it
You
is,
got
yeah.
Power Rangers and all this other stuff. Oh my God, there's a child. Hello, child.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like I want to play with toys, right? And then I'm
That's what it
mixing
is.
my Mario with a toy dinosaur, except in this case it's Final Fantasy-esque adjacent characters that were created for the series and Disney characters, right? And then like the
here's
extended
Cloud Strife,
Disney-
and Donald Duck says
Yeah.
Sora, that's Sephiroth, and it's like that doesn't make sense, but it's like my
the
childhood
thing.
dream. So,
And I like to believe that like Kingdom Hearts is also like Final Fantasy canon. And at this point, I'd also like to believe, because it just makes too much sense that it would be Super Smash Bros. Nintendo canon, right? So here's where we're at. Kingdom Hearts is no longer just Square Enix, Final Fantasy, and Disney. It also tangentially encompasses Nintendo. And so it grows, right? Incredible. Just as my mind is blown. I think that's cooler than just getting Sora and be like, oh yeah, this is a really exciting character. No, it's the implication that all of this is canon.
Sora and Pit can be friends now, like
They're like
Same
best-
here.
boys.
best buddies now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They have
would
the
say,
same single brain cell that they pass back and forth. Like,
I would say like one thing that's like at least worth saying, I guess, because every time every time something comes to Nintendo consoles, there's always all these people that never once touched it or heard of it in their life, and I think that's also the power of Smash and Nintendo and the Switch. So if you were to pitch Kingdom Hearts to somebody, or try to get someone very entry level into Kingdom Hearts, right? Like, hey, you should play this game series because of this character, or because it's on Switch, you should play it now. Like, what would you say? Like, what's the most entry level, like, non-offensive thing you could say to somebody to get them into Kingdom Hearts right now? Because in my opinion, Kingdom Hearts is like one of the most
Do you want to get
intimidating
verbally
game
abused by
series.
Phil from Disney's Hercules?
honestly,
Because I dreamed of that all of my
honestly,
childhood. And
it's
finally,
just-
Kingdom Hearts came out, and I get verbally abused by Phil.
there's something cathartic about it. I don't know what it is. I'd say that. It's cathartic. It's like it's rough around the edges. It's not a perfect series. It's not a perfect game, but just like the sheer like audacity that they would make a game like this. Like, how dare you? But oh my God, I can't believe it exists. And yes, I'm going to play it. It seemed unbelievable when I was a child and I hadn't played them, but I know friends who had been like, yeah, Kingdom Hearts. And I'd be like, what? You know? And as an adult, starting to, actually make my way through the first game and hopefully going to the second game and the third game, I'm still like, oh my God, it's so goofy. Like, I went to Atlantica earlier today, and all of a sudden, what? Goofy's a sea turtle?
Sea turtle, yeah.
You know? And Donald's like a squid? Okay, all right. Like, that's just like a lot of fun. So, it's just fun. It's fun.
if
Don't
you
use a guide.
revel
at least
in
for the first
absurdity
game. I don't know about the second.
and also just really want a good action RPG romp, like that's Kingdom Hearts. Like that's
Yeah.
the best suggestion I can give.
Also say, don't feel intimidated by the Kingdom Hearts fans at all, because they're all obnoxious. Don't even get like, if you tell any of them that, hey, I don't know what's going on, for a second, they'll be like, well, you should have. Did you play this game? Did you do this? Did you pay attention to this? Did you play it on proud mode? No. Well, you gotta go back. You gotta go back. It's like, no. You can watch a guide. If you get stuck, feel free to look it up. If you want to skip, like, watch the cutscenes online, watch a synopsis or something.
You
Like,
didn't
play the
scratch the
games that
code
you're-
on the back of your Pepsi can back in like 1993 to like enter the code to get the game, the mini game. You poser, you absolute poser.
I'll say this. I probably already said it. I've been using a guide at least for the back half of the game.
You don't
Especially
have to
for
play
the
the
first
mobile
game.
game.
Oh my
fine.
God. Like, using
Yeah.
the guide makes it even more absurd. Like, how was I supposed to know this, right?
Because
It's like
realistically,
the
though,
weird wandering that the game wants you to do, and you just have to like keep checking areas to try to like trigger something. You know, that
Kingdom
kind of
Hearts
like
1
chaos.
is the roughest games to like. That Neverland in the jungle, bro. You might as well throw the whole game away. Like, come on. Like, that's one of the roughest starts to one of the best franchises I've ever experienced in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I would not recommend. It's so bad.
Ran around Wonderland for so long, just trying to figure out, oh, drink this and eat this and go over here and use magic on this.
Jump on the
and-
second
Yeah.
round.
It's like, Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Pure
Kingdom Hearts,
chaos. Just please don't do yourself a favor. Use a guide. Learn how to go through the first game at the very least if you're wanting to experience it. Also,
Kingdom
they're
Hearts
like
2 is so much better than one.
canon
I
doesn't
love
matter.
it.
Everything is true. Everything is true. It doesn't matter. We right here doing this podcast, we are in the Kingdom Hearts universe. We are canon. Okay. I want
By
everybody to
acknowledging
understand
its
that.
existence,
Yeah.
we acknowledge that we are
We are part of the
within
canon.
the canon.
You heard it here
Take-
first, folks.
Take heed when learning about the lore itself. It's a different story altogether. Because I mean, Kingdom Hearts, the villain is actually 3 guys who are actually 13 guys who are actually the same guy. He likes darkness because he played chess with Mark Hamill once, but Mickey Mouse likes the light, so he helps a bunch of teenagers learn the magic sword combat to beat the darkness. That's the plot of Kingdom Hearts right there.
Do you ever just realize that you want to get some superpowers? So what you do is you grow up, you become a scientist, and then you go back in time and talk to yourself, and then that's how you get the idea to get the superpowers in the first place. Like
That
Time
works.
travel.
Circular logic like that. That's cool. We can do that. Like it's not reality.
it's like, okay, well, what is the origin point of this villain's story in the first place?
That's
At this point,
the thing.
like,
I
I don't care about plot.
matter.
Can I whack something with the key?
Yep.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
in.
god. Thinking about like whacking things with different things, right? To know how to like get some of this crap, it's like you realize, oh my god, I have to use like the magic on different things. And sometimes
Yeah.
it is not clear. It's just not clear what you're supposed to do. Sometimes it seems pretty clear. It's like, okay, well, maybe I can interact with this and figure it out on my own.
Doesn't it feel good to be able to talk about Kingdom Hearts and it's relevant on a Nintendo podcast, man?
Yeah, yeah.
Finally.
I really like that.
Finally.
It's finally relevant to me, right? It's finally time that like at 27 that I really start to digest this kind of stuff. Anyway, we could go on all night about Kingdom Hearts if we wanted to. There are a few things I want to talk about. 2 shorter things, okay? One, I just want to mention it. Tomorrow is the start of a Tetris 99 event, which is something that I like. I've like playing Tetris 99. I'll play the events every once in a while when there's a theme I like. And this theme I really like because it's Monster Hunter Rise, right? It's just, oh my God, give me that music. Give me that visual. That starts tomorrow, goes through the 11th. Don't really need to talk about it. It is what it is. Also, tomorrow is Metroid Dread is dropping, which is a game I will
keep
not
forgetting
be.
about that.
I will not be getting until Monday because I ordered physically. So I will probably try to be off the internet for the next few days until I get that copy and I start playing that. Is anybody else getting it? Does anybody else care about Metroid here? Because I love Metroid.
I really want to get it, but I just can't afford it right now. So
Oh.
That's why I got a physical copy. That's why I got a
work
physical
through
copy
the
because I can
previous
finish
games,
it
and then-
and I can pass it off to somebody else who wants to play
There
it.
we go. Hopefully, by the time I actually get around to playing it, I'll get through the backlog and then I'll be ready for it.
I still got to touch on 2 of those games, so yeah.
I'm a tool for Metroid over here.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's
Nice.
go.
I
Let's go.
couldn't get. I still need to get the Dread amiibos, in particular, but I'm gonna be on that so much. Oh my god, just the fact that that Project Dread became a thing that
That's
that we're
really
playing
cool.
Metroid 5. Are you like, oh my god? And
I
we're
mean-
still waiting for Prime 4 in the meantime. So I mean, I really want to see this like resurge with how hard Nintendo is pushing on it, and to see like new fans come into it. I've seen so many people just go back to like the Wii U and their Game Boy Advances to play like the old ports of Zero Mission and Fusion. Now it's so great to see.
Yeah.
Those are so good.
I still have to finish Samus Returns. I started playing that, and then I still have to finish Fusion. Also, I'm technically mid Metroid Prime 2, but I haven't touched that game in months. That's going to be something I'll have to go back to.
Oh, that's a hard
Um,
one to jump back into with the whole like light world, dark world
Oh,
mechanic.
I've been using a guide for it 100%. I use
Oh, yeah.
guides for Metroid games. I probably won't use a guide, obviously, for Metroid Dread. But I also trust that Nintendo is going to be a lot better about telling me where to go. And I think I can kind of mostly get through it. I think Metroid's one of those games where I use a guide as needed, right? Unlike...
Sure.
And I guess that's technically true for most games I play. I'll use a guide as needed just so I can finish the game. Sometimes it's a little bit heavier for others, but I'm so excited for Metroid Dread. Holy crap. I wish I had the money to spend on the amiibo, right? Like there's so many other things I want to buy, but those amiibo are super fine. Like those are
The Emmy
real.
looks awesome.
Yeah,
Very clean.
I have a very shaky relationship with like Metroidvanias and stuff.
yeah,
But I did play through Zero Mission and Fusion in high school. I played through both of them emulated on my phone on bus rides, commuting back and forth. Um, Played Zero Mission without a guide. That took me months, like of on and off. Um,
yeah.
because I just find Metroidvania like super hard, but I enjoyed it, you know. And then I played Fusion with a guide, much better experience. Um, got halfway through like Samus Returns, just never went back to it for whatever reason. And I played the first Prime. Really excited to get into this one because it looks like you know, you've got all these quality of life improvements and stuff. And I'm not necessarily like averse to Metroid. I really like it for the lore. I like the characters. It's just like cool, you know. It's got that cool factor that draws me in, especially this game. So, as somebody who's still, I would say, relatively new to Metroid as a series, like I'm really excited to play it. I'm gonna preload it tonight and probably play it after I get off work tomorrow.
I'm so frustrated. I mean, there's other things happening tomorrow. More media that's releasing. Like, there's 2 albums dropping tomorrow that I've been anticipating. So I'll have something to hold me over. Plus Kingdom Hearts until I finally get Metroid Dread. But yeah, no, it's like awful to think that like it's gonna hit like midnight, 1 o'clock, and people are gonna start playing Metroid Dread, and I'm just gonna. I'm FOMOing, right? Like it's like, dang, all right, don't spoil it for me, please.
Mute it on Twitter so you don't get any clips. No.
Yeah, I made the mistake of downloading Twitter on my phone again, so I think I just need to delete that like before midnight, and then just keep it off for ever. Just never go on Twitter again. I don't need to be on Twitter.
What's really silly about me is I enjoy Metroidvanias as a genre, but I've never once beaten or played a Castlevania or beaten a Metroid game before. But I love the genre, so it's like I don't know the source material, but I love games inspired by it. Like Ori is amazing, Hollow Knight's great, XYZ is like all those other games are really fun, but I just never like Super Metroid and like original Metroid or like Fusion I didn't have on Game Boy. I've only played like 3/4 of the way through Prime on my game, like on my Wii in the Prime collection. So it's like I don't have like an emotional attachment to Samus as a character. But I wouldn't mind going back through like Super Metroid and then finding ways to play Fusion. But also I've heard many people that have played it already say like you don't really need to play the other games. It's a good video game as itself. So you can go in blind to the lore and still have a damn good time. So I'm like, I might just do that. Like I'll borrow a friend's physical copy or something because I have a couple friends who are gonna get it. So I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. There's
I mean,
there's too many games.
none of the games are so heavily connected that you're gonna be like, oh, this. I mean, it might make more deeper sense, you know, especially you know, if they cheesed a lot of the Chozo lore in this game, which were a lot more prominent in the Prime series, right? Even though there always have been references in the game to the Chozo. So that's interesting, right? But like, oh well, if you find out like the information or the background for this or that on the back end, you know, after you play it, I don't think this is a series you have to play in order, right? If the newest game is what gets you into that series, and then you go back to play the games, do it.
Yeah,
do it. That's great.
Monster Hunter Rise. That's my experience with.
Okay, but also
right
the Monster Hunter Rise is one of those games where like that is the most accessible game in the series, and it is the game that respects your time the most in any game in the series, hands down, right? So that's a good jumping off point.
You know,
also,
Dread is gonna be like, honestly.
lore, Monster Hunter, it doesn't matter. You just might miss out on some of the mechanics if you go back.
Things with a sword.
Yeah.
But yeah, really excited for that. I love her new suit design.
It's really good.
Oh,
It's really
it's
cool.
like
Crispy, yeah.
a Fusion student inspirations in there, and yeah,
It's got like the musculature and like it, like in the triceps and like
It's
Yeah,
also
like
it's
the
also
visual
interesting
on-
that this concept almost hit the DS, right? And
so
here we
weird.
are on the Switch, right? A much more powerful console, capable of much more like pristine visuals. Like imagine what it could have looked like, and now imagine what it actually looked. Well, not you don't have to imagine what it looks like. We know what it looks like, and it looks incredible. The design, right? But then the fidelity, like it certainly adds something, especially to like, everybody kind of like holds the Prime games up as like the real like triple A Metroid experience, right? And I feel like now we're getting to that point where Metroid is like, oh no, this is main series. Like this is top notch. Like there was the haters when they announced it. Like, why would I pay $60 for a side scroller? That's not worth $60. That kind of stuff. But like, are you kidding me? Look at this game. It looks incredible.
That's awesome.
Like just wow.
Those first party Nintendo games sometimes are like, it looks good in a trailer, but then you get it on your TV, on your Switch, and you're like, oh, this is a beautiful
Mhm.
game. Like people are always just like, Nintendo games don't look the best, but then when you get that thing running and like on your big TV, you're just like, oh, they put all this is good.
Mario
It's
Kart
just good
8
visual
Deluxe was my
design.
first
Literally,
game on Switch. The first time I played that game, and
When I
honestly,
remember-
playing that game in handheld mode blew me away. Like, and that's been my experience with most Switch games so far. Like, yeah, they might not look as good as like, PS4 games at the time, and especially not like the current gen of consoles, but like they still look really good in their own right.
when they adapt their graphics to like the right way to push them to their limits, they're really good looking games.
Mhm.
Like what's it called? Like Astro's Playroom or whatever for like PS5. Like I feel like that game would look just as good on a Switch, to be honest. Like that game is like it's that animation, that charm that those Nintendo games
Because
have.
it's
They just look really good.
stylized enough.
Yeah. But also I think again, as someone who doesn't care too much about Metroid, and also with the whole trend of certain Nintendo first party games getting more love on Switch than they ever have on other consoles. Everyone's already saying this is going to be like the best selling Metroid game like ever created ever
Oh,
because
hands
it's
down.
on Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hands down.
Just
but
based on
also
Switch.
yeah, and I'm also just like I was like I felt like they were advertising it a little too much, but also like with the rep that Metroid has had, like they needed people to have their eyes on this. Because I mean, I get it. Because it's like, as far as like top Nintendo franchises, I don't think Metroid is the up. Like I don't. Is it? Would you say it's top five? Top five is Metroid.
Top
don't
five
know.
selling, like
Top five
popularity.
Nintendo franchises. Metroid's up
think
there.
so.
I
Right
no,
now.
I don't think it would. Which is why I feel like this is Metroid's
have to push
moment, right?
Yeah.
Like Mario's always been popular, Zelda's always been popular, the top of the line, pretty highly selling games in regards to their individual things. But like Metroid's always kind of been on the lower side, and that's not a bad thing. It's been a little bit more niche, for a long time. Relatively speaking, right?
But also
I feel like
considering
there's
there's
a-
another game to sell too, like
There's-
Prime 4.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But I think there's like a mystique surrounding the series, right? Because the last games we really got were a little bit different, a little bit off kilter, mostly on the GameCube and the Wii. We kind of got like 2.5D with Other M, but that wasn't like, that was kind of an offshoot, right? A little bit different. But this is a return, right? This is a return to like the main series here. And then it's out on the
Samus's
Switch.
Samus Return is on 3DS, Logan.
Well, yeah, but that's a remake, right?
Yeah,
That being said,
Federation
it's the same
Force.
developer, right? But it is a remake of the game on the main series. But also, like, think about how many really solid Metroidvania games have released in the last since Fusion, honestly, and Fusion a little bit less so because it was a GBA game, so people were kind of like, oh well, it's not like Super Metroid or something like that. Like, whereas like, okay, it's on the best hardware at the time. So I feel like there's been like all these people who have been introduced to what a Metroidvania is, have found like a game or two that they really like. And then now it's like, okay, all eyes on Metroid, right? And on this game that has so far has been reviewed very, very well.
It's
And
been like
just
9s and higher.
it's getting the Nintendo treatment, and now everybody's like, oh my god! And then it's on a successful Nintendo console. So I think this will easily be the best selling game to date. And I am so excited for it. I don't even want to like talk about it because I just want to experience it, and it's almost here, right?
Nintendo definitely talked about it enough in its like 10 dread reports, which is like an example of what you were saying, how like they have to advertise it, they have to push for it, so people can talk about it, so there's a discussion about it, so people can be interested and want to buy it. They had some pretty I don't know, they had some spoilers in those that I wish I didn't see until the game actually came out, but again, that's what generates more conversation about it, and that's what
right.
I think,
And
yeah,
that's good, right? Like for the people who like need a reason, like tease them, right? Like personally, I watched that first trailer and I haven't watched like anything since. Right. I was like, I know I'm buying this game. I don't need to see any of this. I don't want to see any of this. This is one of those things where it's like, I actually do care about spoilers. I want to experience this myself. And it's just around the corner. It's here, right? Which is crazy to think about that it's finally here. Anyway, any last thoughts about Metroid Dread before we move on to our last subject?
No.
Happy for you, Logan.
I'm so
Have fun.
excited. Let's go. I can't wait. It's almost here. Okay, last thing I want to talk about. October 15th, there is an Animal Crossing event. I thought we were done. I was hopeful that we weren't done with Animal Crossing content. I have 400 hours in Animal Crossing New Horizons, an unhealthy amount. There are still things I want to do with my island, but I've been waiting. A lot of people have been building their things. They've been waiting for a cafe, all this other stuff, which is the thing that was like confirmed, right? That there's a cafe. The cafe's coming back, the roost. It is set inside the museum, so there's not like an extra building or whatnot. But there's going to be a 20-minute presentation, and they're going to talk about more content. It would be really sad if it was just, here's the roost, and then here's Brewster. Have fun. We talked about that for 20 minutes. Like, what else could it be? I've seen some people ask for Puzzle League, which was added with the Welcome Amiibo expansion of New Leaf on the 3DS. That would be cool. I like having extra activities. I want more mini games.
You're gonna be able to play. There's gonna be a mini game where you play Diner Dash in the roost. You're working for
You can get a part-time job too.
I would take that. That would be so good.
It's like a
Cool.
part-time job,
Skills
quote
things to
unquote.
do.
But like
I'd
you
love
just
that.
like you get in and you're just playing Diner Dash.
I'd love for
That's all.
everything to get a little bit deeper, right? Everything to have a little bit more interactivity. I could imagine that part of this update would be like, all right, we've added aspects to everything, right? Everything is a little bit more interactable. Maybe it's just a new animation, a new thing that happens with a certain item, or maybe within the item there's like some activity or mini game, or maybe there's like you have to gather certain things to build like a mini game of sorts, right?
What's the mobile game
There's
called
just
again?
a GameCube that you can play.
The
You
mobile
get to
game is
play Path of Radiance.
Pocket Camp is
Switch.
the mobile game.
I want the Pocket Camp amount of interactivity with props
Yeah.
in this game.
Yeah.
Because I've seen like Pocket Camp things where like your villagers are actually in the pool.
Or
and
they're on a
just hanging
half
out.
pipe
Yeah.
and they're skating
just
on the
playing
half
with
pipe.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that
I want
kind of
that.
stuff. But also, I want to be able to go on the half pipe myself.
I want to be able
Right.
to use stuff. Let us use the dang fight cap. Like, let us use the game cabinets, bro. What am I grinding for this game cabinet for when I can't play?
Also,
game cabinets?
in New Leaf, even before like the Welcome Amiibo, like there was the island that you could meet with all of your friends, where you could do things together, right? It wasn't like
wondering-
terribly robust, but it was like, oh, here playing hide and seek. Here's another activity, and I know some of that has kind of made a comeback, but also some of that's like conditional, right? Okay, is it a fishing tourney? So now everybody's got to do the fishing. You're working towards something, but is there more of that, more of the fun stuff, right? Just the things that you can do to interact with your friends on a more base level. I still want like a communal island. I want, okay, everybody, 8 people can be on this island at once and everybody can do things on the island. And it's a collective project. That would be cool. If
Yeah.
you're
Need more,
charging
like-
online,
Mhm.
charging for online, give me some persistent online communal islands to work with. That would be really cool. I don't think we're going to get that from this. I think, but I actually don't know. I don't know. I'm
never
like
know,
throwing
'cause-
out things that I want, but I'm like, do I think I'm going to get any of this? I know we're going to get the roost. I think it's going to be pretty like low key, but also it's been a while. What have they been working on?
A long time. Yeah, it's been like last year. I think they did an update like every month about what they're doing or what they're going to do towards the next update, and they haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
the fact that they're doing a direct means there's a substantial like amount of stuff that they're going to add if they have to make a whole direct out of it. And yeah, it leaves it to the imagination. Like, oh, they can talk about the roosts and probably the amiibo cards version 5. Like they're gonna release more amiibo cards about. It could be like just the villagers that have no cards that were introduced with New Horizons, or they could add like more villagers that have been cut since like the very first game.
Right.
Like, we don't know.
Oh, I definitely. I think if there's one other thing I do expect to see more villagers. I think there's going to be a
Returning.
villager
Yeah,
dump.
we should get more.
And concerning like the previous like content updates, most of those content updates were like the seasonal, the holiday stuff, right? Which is good. We want that content, and now it's just in the game, right? You get to that season, you get to that holiday, there's the content. That's great. And then like outside of that, we got the what do you call it update? The swimming update, right?
yeah.
Where we could
that one
swim, and
summer
there was
update,
that,
yeah.
that whole aspect to like the museum that just wasn't there, to make it a little bit deeper. So that's the kind of thing I kind of expect, is they just kind of like dig a little bit deeper into some of these things. So the museum obviously is getting the roost. So what else, and then we also got some of those Nintendo items at one point.
The Mario items.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are good. I want more of those. I want more of the Zelda items and just a lot of the stuff they had in New
crossover
Leaf.
content, the Zelda amiibo stuff.
No,
wasn't
there's
even-
none of that in the
No.
game.
Bring that back.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
only Mario
Both
stuff
things.
right now.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
and it's not even like a lot of Mario stuff either.
I wanna run around as Link. Like, come on, give it to me. And Samus, right? I loved wearing the Samus like helmet and the costume and whatnot. That was really
Let us have
good.
an Emmy as a villager.
Yeah. So it'll be really interesting. I mean, it's 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes focused on one game. So I'm like really curious as to like how much is being packed. Like, is this like the expansion, right? That they're just like, this is it. This is it's a whole new game. Is it going to be bigger than something like the Welcome Amiibo update, which added like an element, but it wasn't huge. Also, it was a game that was like 5 years old at that point. Nobody was expecting extra content at that point,
Yeah.
But
So the first,
yeah.
I'm looking it up right now on YouTube. The first Animal Crossing Direct we got, which was in February 21st of last year, before the game even released, when they were just giving us the whole breakdown of everything, that was 27 minutes. So they can fit a lot of information in 20
That's
minutes for Animal Crossing, especially considering like in that one they had to go into like the TLDR of what the island life was, the airport, Nook services, a whole bunch of tips on like furnishing our house, all that other stuff. Looks like island development things with when they first laid down the steps and like the paving the road thing and all that. So they went over a lot of things in not a lot of time. So Brewster is just the tip of the iceberg, I feel. And
yeah,
this
it's
might
the
actually
teaser,
be
right?
yeah, that's like the thing. This might be very substantial because even like think about it, right? Animal Crossing New Horizons launching last year was probably like the most happy accident situation that they could have ever expected. Because like with Animal Crossing, if you're playing it like a normal person, right, you would have just looped through content like 7 months ago, but everyone was zooming through that content in the span of 2-3 months. So, like, by the
Yeah.
time it was like May, everyone's like, "Where's the rest of the game?" And it's like you played a year's worth of content in 4 weeks. So
Okay,
it's like,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
also I've been thinking about this. It really just depends on how many resources they pumped into this
Mhm.
thing, right? This is the second best-selling game on the Switch,
yeah.
right? In like no time at all, right? So, what are they going to be doing that's going to push this game over 40 million? Right? Maybe that's what Nintendo's looking at. Or maybe it's just like, okay, we're trying to fill in the gaps and it's not going to be that substantial. But again, it's 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So unless there's a lot of fluff, what's going to happen? I don't know at this point. I just need it to happen. Honestly, I think I'm going to stream that one. I'm going to live react to that one. It's been a while since I've done a live reaction. This one seems worthwhile though.
Definitely do it.
It's gonna
Yeah.
re-spark a lot of people's interest in that game because I haven't touched my copy in about a year.
Oh, remember when it came out?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, that
tons
was-
of people
yeah,
online
amazing.
for weeks on
Insane.
end.
Video game,
It-
like top 10 video game moments right there.
Yeah.
It literally
Really
came
enjoyed it.
out. That game literally came out the same week that my job said, we're gonna be home for now on.
You're
So
right.
it's like right at the peak of when everything went down, went bad.
Everybody
But, yeah.
stopped real life and they lived their life in Animal Crossing for at least a few
When
years.
turnip
Animal
prices
Crossing
were
was there
trending.
for us.
Yeah. When turnip prices were trending every Sunday for a month.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I hope that this brings a pretty substantial amount of change to the game that the series kind of needs if they want people to keep playing it.
Mhm.
I hope I see Puzzle League as part of one other thing.
Yeah,
I want to see
yeah.
some mini games in there.
More
Oh,
minigames,
man.
more minigames.
If you wanted to go crazy with this, like they're adding more amiibo cards. What if they had like something that probably won't happen, but man, if they had like an option to expand your island a bit, and so you can
Yes,
have
Make it a
more
little bigger.
Bigger
Yeah.
have
island.
more villagers in your town to kind of like fuel people to buy more amiibo cards, you know, that kind of like
Or just like,
function and
cool.
business practice.
what if you could buy a new island, right?
A
Just
whole
here's a
nother
new
island, right?
island that it's like kind of a separate instance, but it's another place that you can go and just go nuts, right? And here's a bunch of new
Yeah.
things to put on it, right? Just more space to do more of the things that you want to do. It seems like a no-brainer to me. And expanding the base island would also be absolutely incredible, right? Just the maybe the sides go out a little bit, the
like
back goes out a little bit. It doesn't even have to be
Yeah.
that much, just like a little extra space.
Some more room.
There was also a lot of just UI experience things, or because everything was very slow.
Quality
Very
of life
slow. It
would
took
be
too
dope.
long to do.
Oh my god.
Can we finally craft more than one item at a time?
Right,
Oh my
right.
God,
Yeah,
jeez.
no, honestly,
And I
quality of life improvements, I don't know why they wouldn't. I feel like that's a must for this update.
There were so many things wrong with that game that made doing the simplest tasks take like too long.
Yeah.
Too long. There were a lot of like there were those fan made Animal Crossing directs. Do you remember those? Where they were like,
Oh
this is
yeah.
what.
Here's
So
what we
hopefully
would
they were
do,
watching
right?
those closely, and they were just like, yeah, we should probably do that.
I mean, I imagine they were listening to feedback. They have the whole internet to look at. Why would you not?
Yeah.
You know, not everything's going to be a good idea, but you're going to find some stuff that you're like, oh no, we thought about that.
Yeah.
That's on the 15th, and that means it's like
We
a week from tomorrow.
So we
Oh
got
man.
Metroid, Animal Crossing, and Kingdom Hearts in the next 2 weeks. That's crazy.
Woo.
And then
Yeah.
Mario Party at the end of the month. Jeez.
Oh
my God.
Oh
I
my
almost
God.
forgot about Mario
Oh
Party.
my god.
So good.
I'm not getting
Mario
that at
Party boys.
launch.
Dude,
I
will
talked about
destroy
getting
you.
like Banana Mania,
You're gonna
and I still
destroy
haven't
him at a
picked that
luck-based
up. You
game.
know? Oh my god, I was
man.
like, okay, I have only so much money. Do I spend my money on Banana Mania or do I spend it on Dread? And of course, I'm going to spend it on Dread. I feel like if I lived
money
in a more
matter.
communal
Anybody.
setting and there's more people playing video games all the time, then I'd be like, okay, Banana Mania, let's go. But yeah,
Mario
same
Party
same
money
deal.
matches. Let's go.
Mario Party is gonna be a trip.
Mario Party money matches. Let's go.
Oh my god. Time to rage again.
One-
Time to
one-
yell at your
one-
friends and your family.
Come on,
Uh,
1v1 bumper balls.
Dude, they were adding so many good mini games from
Good
like
mini games.
the games. Even like, oh, what's also smart is since they can't do the rotation thing, they're just gonna make a mashing games. And I'm just like, I'm all for it, dude. Like the game for Mario Party 1, where someone's running from a piranha plant with legs on a skateboard, and then everyone's smashing on the cloud. That game's coming back. The Tug of War game's coming back. as like a game where you're like in a barrel sneaking up on a chain, like getting out of a room with a chain chomp, and if he catches you, die type of thing. I'm gonna be so happy playing that. It's gonna be
A lot
great.
of classic ones like Shy Guy Says and like
Yeah.
just a really feel
I
good
can't
one
wait
from
to
the NC Square.
actually fight my friends because they stole my star, and it's 20 coins now, so it's actually monetary value now. Like
the actual like I just love how it looks like
Gotta hate
like
inflation.
it has the actual spirit of Mario Party back again from that we've been missing since before like 9 and 10 came out.
And what'd be
That's just
dope
really-
is since they've been like doing a lot of DLC patches on stuff like Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, whatever. If they were to actually like patch in DLC for these games, like here's a new board
More boards
and like 10 more games or whatever, or just add boards, bro. I honestly just want more boards because there's a
Honestly.
lot of boards they didn't add that I would have loved to see in here.
Yeah. We'll see if they
yeah.
do that because like they didn't do that for Super Mario Party, and it still shipped over 15 million copies, right? So they're like they don't have to do it, but yeah, like I would love post-launch like content, at least like one more board, right? Especially since they're all based on like pre-existing boards.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't need it. I don't know what else is going to be in the game. I haven't
This
watched
is like
too
the
closely.
Banana Mania to Mario Party's like Banana Blitz. Like we're finally getting the game that mattered.
Yeah. Oh man.
You know what? I haven't taken a mini game list because I want to be surprised for the most part. What games is this pulling, or what games in the series is this pulling from?
Mainly
are-
1 through 4 or something, right?
Mostly
Okay.
1 through 3, and then you do get some spattering from like 4, 5, and 6, I believe. I know I've seen some like as
Yay.
far as 6, but
But it's-
mostly is
Yeah,
like
they said the
N64
minigames
version.
span essentially
Okay.
the entire series, but I would
Put a
imagine
stamp
it
on
would
it.
be a little bit
90s
more.
kids remember.
That's fine because I
Yeah.
really love 5 and 6 because those were the ones I grew up with.
Oh yeah, this is for the
Yeah.
90s kids. It's a great game.
Oh yeah.
It's a great day.
I was always partial towards 7. That was my Mario Party of
Seven's fun.
choice. Yeah. Before the series really started to drop off, but it's
I
coming
know
back.
people didn't really like 8, but I don't know.
Well,
I
8 was
thought
still
was
like
fun.
that
I was also,
form,
like,
and I
8
heard
years old, though, so-
I heard the minigames weren't that great. Well, no, I played it. The minigames were all right.
a lot of
whatever.
waggle on number.
Yeah,
and
a lot
eight.
of waggle. I heard the minigames in 9 were great, but the structure of the boards and the way that everybody's
the
like all on the
car
same
showed up in
cart, you
9.
know. Same
Yeah.
with 10. Like it's just weird.
Oh, 10 was terrible. I hated 10.
That was just boring.
I
played with some
liked
friends and we're
I
like,
liked a lot of
we're
the
gonna stop midway
concessions.
through.
I liked a
Mhm.
lot of what they were doing with Super Mario Party. Like it felt like a return to form while also trying to make it new.
It's getting there.
And again, like Nintendo likes to do this back and forth. So this is the back, right? Where it's like, okay, we're going far back. Like this is just Mario Party. But I do think Super Mario Party 2 will still kind of employ some of these other things and maybe balance it better, right? I liked the specific dice that like different characters
Mhm.
had and
Yeah,
whatnot. And I
those are
thought that
fun.
was really interesting. But anyway, that's at the end of the month. As for the whole show, I'm out of topics. Does anybody have any last words? Any last thoughts before I wrap up?
Buy
I would talk
Metroid
about-
Dread.
Yeah.
I seconded by Metroid Dread.
Give that
Looking forward to
series
that.
love.
What about to say, Sanji?
Oh no, I was gonna say I'd bring up Dragon Ball, but I didn't watch the trailer, so I don't know. It's been on my mind all day. I'm like, I gotta
Oh
watch
yeah,
it. but I just haven't had
Go
time.
go watch
that
go
too.
watch the trailer for the new Dragon
Yeah,
Ball
definitely gonna do
Super
that.
movie. It honestly looks really really good. But that's not Nintendo. And
No,
that's what
it's
we
not,
talk
but
about.
some of the
And
weird
adjacent stuff. Goku's a little bit out there.
Goku's in Smash.
So anyway, thank you all. Thank you, you people talking to me right now. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Thank you to the people who watch the live stream and those who will watch it the VOD later, because that happens a lot. My name is Logan. This has been the Break Room Arcade. This has been Nintendo stuff for the week. So don't break your backs. Break in the games. But for now, break time is...
Wait,
What?
you gotta let everyone plug their stuff, friend.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
We have guests.
Break time
on
is
this
almost
podcast. They gotta
over
plug their
after
stuff.
everybody who wants to plugs their stuff. I know y'all have some stuff and some of you don't. So, David, why did you start? Give us where you're at. Plug yourself.
No problem. So you can find me over on Twitter at DaveedRDW. That's DaveedRDW, and also on YouTube and Twitch at ConmenRDW, where I do lots of geeky nerd stuff for geeky nerd people, play video games, talk about anime, and do a whole bunch of other gaming adjacent things. I also have my own podcast, Binge Blast. We record on like every other Sunday. We talk about games that we've been playing and things that we've been watching in mass. This week we're going to be talking about Squid Game because I finished it today and I am hurting. So we're going to be doing that. So for sure, check that out.
How about you, Daniel?
So yeah, my name's Daniel. You can catch me at Evernice Studio on Twitter, and I'm also the graphic art director on Good Vibes Gaming, which we also have our lovely Brandon Miracle on as well. I am doing more with the channel every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Me and Brandon are on Good Vibes Arcade on Twitch, and we're doing Mario Party month leading up to Mario Party Superstars. So on Tuesdays we're going to be doing Mario Party with certain guests from YouTube and internet personalities. And on Thursdays, we're doing Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga as a co-op game. And that's pretty much what we're doing. And hope to see you there. Thanks
Yeah,
for
I
having me on
watched that
the show,
Mario and
guys.
Luigi stream earlier, and it was very fun. Santi, where are you at? Where do you exist?
I mean, I'm on Twitter as Digital Hughes, Digital HUEZ, but I don't really do anything. I'm there. I don't know. I'm working on some videos I'm going to put out eventually, but I'm not really going to plug it too hard.
Santi's the person I talked to about Kingdom Hearts.
You follow me if you want to talk about Kingdom Hearts, I guess, because it's all I'm going to be talking about for the next 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my god.
And Paul, we know you're a part of the
Yes.
Break Room Arcade, but you have your personal stuff too. Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at Gunnosaurus. I don't tweet much, but when I do, it's probably not good. But
And you can
No,
find
they're
me. You can find me at Loggy Doves, or us collectively at Break Room Arcade, or you can find us on Discord. If you want to join the Discord, the link is in the description below. Anyway, this has been Nintendo Stuff for the week by Metroid Dread. Watch the new Dragon Ball Super movie trailer, and don't break your backs. Break in the games. But for now, break time is over.
Uber.